give you some little updates on some of the players, some of our guys that are starters. To Marcus is getting rested. He has a little bit of a sore knee. To Davis, that is Davis. Tight end in the green jersey, obviously. Rested him a little bit, a little sore. Jacob Newell is the one. We don't know exactly what happened here. He got ankle rolled over, so we're getting x-rays. Once I know what happened, we'll let you folks know. That's about it as far as I know as far as the injuries, so that's kind of where that stands. I'd like to really thank the fan base for Saturday. They had a, I don't know what you want to call it, but our players were involved with some of the season ticket holders coming in with their kids and just socializing with those guys. It was approximately about 2,000 fans, what I've heard. I don't know if the coaches weren't allowed in the building. We were gone. But just listening to the players speak, fans were very cordial, very encouraging to them. So that was nice. And it was hot. It was, I think, at 5 o'clock. So it was still warm, but they came in the stadium. And I told the players before that, there's always going to be a little kid that when he sees your number, it's just one of those deals. You're bigger than life as a football player, as an athlete, And I can remember first time I went to a professional baseball game and I saw Willie Mays. I was like in shock. I said, that's Willie Mays. I've seen him on television. I'm actually seeing Willie Mays, and I've gotten to know him personally. So that was kind of fun for me. So it always goes back to guys. You watch the Sun Devils playing your little kid, and you get to come in and meet these guys. It was a good event for everybody involved, so we appreciate that. As far as practice, really it was one of those, it was long, done intentionally. There was about 90 plays for the most part. Got a lot of good work. Things are starting to come along. It's always interesting when you start adding stuff to your offense. Defense is pretty much set, but the offense is the one when you start adding some things. Too many drop balls today. We got a lot of drop footballs today. It looked like me trying to catch the ball. No, I shouldn't say that. I can catch the ball, actually, so I'm not going to put that on me. But we got to catch it, and I think a lot of it has to do with tight coverage. Quarterback's trying to fit it in there, and we've been very fortunate. We've been a good cover team, so they got to realize, some of these guys that haven't been here in the past, that you're going to get tight coverage and you have to make those catches. But we have way too many drops, and we got to clean that up. I'm starting to like the way we look running the football. There's some things we're doing pretty well. Defensively, it's about the rotation, really, of how we're going to rotate guys in and out. By the end of this week, we should have a pretty good idea of the guys on both sides of the ball. That's going to be interesting to watch how that develops. A lot of competition at a lot of positions, so that's always fun. Question? Yes, sir.
Yeah, Coach Michael Caratino, Sideline Sports. When you talk about the competition, but it seems like offensive, defensive line, little pads on, getting a little more chippy. I know they're on the same team, but how much do you like to see that chippiness between them?
You do, because I think that there's a tone of it where it's being competitive, not combative. We don't want to be combative. When you're combative, people get hurt. And I think for the new guys, because we have a lot of new guys, they've been other places, and I think how we practice might be a little bit different, so just learning how to do that. And the more you put pads on, the more they realize this is how we have to do it. So, but you're right. They got after it a little bit today. Now they were rested. Tomorrow we're going in the bubble with helmets on. We have a pretty good practice. And Wednesday we'll get back at it. Thursday it'll be more of a relaxed day again. And Friday we'll go at it again. And then we get to go up to Camp T. That'll be interesting. Hopefully we don't lose a coach or a player going up the mountain. Not so much going up as coming down. I mean, a tree fell on Tommy like 3 years ago or something like that. Hit his head. But I'm just kidding. He didn't do it. He hit it in the head. But, hopefully we're going to be okay going up there. I think it'll be fun for the guys to go up there. We got to, it's a good trip. It'll be good just for a little nostalgia for some of these guys that have actually stayed up there. But for the new guys, I just think it'll be fun to go up there.
And then when you mentioned you're saying too many drops today, but
yes.
How much of that, too, is, again, not an excuse, but just the quarterbacks, again, getting used to the receivers and developing that chemistry?
That has something to do with it, too. And I know one thing. When Five throws the ball, you don't throw a lot of curveballs. It's fast. You better be ready because it's going to get on you. I mean, it gets on you fast. If you don't have your head around your hands ready, it can bounce off you. So you got to get your head around, and that's the timing of receivers and quarterback. You know, it's a new offense, a lot of new receivers, quarterback that wasn't here in the spring, 5 other guys were here, I understand that. So I just think that has something to do with it. But I kind of like the way we're progressing. It's kind of fun to watch.
Chris Cartman, Son of a Source. Herm, now that you've been able to get a sense of some of your newcomer talent-wise, what's your perspective on that? Secondary, receivers, elsewhere?
Receivers of talent, and we got a couple of them that can run really fast. I'm not going to say who they are. Let them figure it out when they play. Tight end group is interesting, obviously. DBs are very interesting, especially at the corner position, right? There's so many of them, and there's some long guys. It's just interesting. What will be the rotation in there? And I think the key for us, who will be the nickelback, right? Nickelback. In college football now, you need that guy. You need 2 of them because a lot of teams will spread you out and go 4 wides. So you got to get accustomed to that. So I think that position and just trying to establish who will be the starting corners, and I do think there'll be at least 9, 10 guys in the secondary that play, right? And you saw that. You watched this play last 4 years. We were fortunate last year. We had 2 NFL corners. Played a lot of football, right? So that's comforting. But now these guys don't have as much experience. They got talent, but we got to watch them play together.
What about the size of a Rotorrance, Tark Luckett, and what that might be able to do for you guys, how you call it?
Well, obviously restricts you from the line of scrimmage as wide receivers, and just try to not allow them free releases and make the quarterback hold the ball. And we play a lot of camp coverage, so we do play a lot of press. Now we play zone too, but we're known for single safety high, and even in some zones we play man if you're to the side of where you're manned at, right? So these guys are used to that. There's a lot of pressure on them to do that, but we feel that we have guys capable of doing it. I say that till the ball starts getting thrown over their head.
Hey, Coach, how much, just a week into practice now, how much closer are you to knowing who your starting quarterback is going to be?
We'll probably make an announcement here shortly. I got an idea, but that's it. I don't want the opponent to know. They can study for all 4 of those.
Nesta Jade, so there's out here if anybody needs to. Coach Jordan Ham, Sports 360 AZ. You talk so much about the depth and the versatility of the offensive line, but when you're trying to pin down 5 guys, not only 5 guys, but 5 guys in the right position who can play so many positions, where do you feel like you're at in the offensive line competition?
Well, I think it's going to be 8 guys, to be quite honest. The offensive line. We're going to rotate. We are. Because we got some talented guys. Just got to find the best fits for all those guys. But there's going to be more than 5 guys. You got to have at least a solid 7 to 8 guys playing. And we've done that here in the past. We don't just play 5 guys. We play sometimes 7. Might play 8 this year, depending on who they are. But what's great about them, a lot of them can play dual positions. Some of them can play center, guard. Ramos can play all the positions, right? So we've got some guys that can play guard, tackle, right? So that helps us because you always want to feel like you have multiple positions of offensive linemen. So we're fortunate that way. Those guys.
Herm, Teo Mackey, Arizona Republic. You talked a little bit about the new guys. I was wondering how Charles Hall's fitting into the offense specifically.
Yeah, he's doing a good job. It's all new, and I think when you're a receiver, alignment, formations, how you run routes, every receiver runs routes a little bit different according to what systems he was in, and that's the key for him is let me figure this out. And then we got to figure out how we're using these guys, right? Because as you guys know, it's going to be more than like 3 receivers that play. Probably going to be 6, 7 of them, right? How do we use them in different formations? What are their strengths? I know this. If you have fast guys, you got to let them run fast. Eventually, you have to let them run fast. And so how we create that, it'll be interesting. But I think we have some ways to do that, so it'll be kind of fun.